Hey guys, good morning everybody. Today is Thursday, May 29th. It is 6:26 right now. We got market opening up in about 3 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. Just got a few things here to update and we should be good to go. All right, looks good. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. All right, link is sent out. And as people join in, I'm going to go ahead and start marking up liquidity over here. All right, down to the 15-minute here, 10-minute, and back down to the 1 minute. So market is now open, guys. Breakout for today is going to be a sell, sorry, sell. We have a sell signal right there. Breakout's currently running right now in profit. I think the breakout might have already hit. We'll take a look at that shortly. I'm just going to finish marking up these areas of liquidity right here. Breakout's been on fire, guys, for the past 3 weeks now. So a little over a month, I believe. Breakouts have been on a crazy streak. So take a look at that in a few. All right, yeah, so breakout right here, full TP, it looks like for a sell. Yeah, it literally went straight to it. So the breakout again, full TP right there, guys, for anybody who caught that. It went straight down. So there goes the breakout right there. We got price pushing down to this lower end. Let me see where the value low is at. All right, so price has been dropping for a while now. Um, the nearest value low just got passed, it looks like. We're pretty far below actually, now that I'm looking at it. Yeah, we're pretty far below. There's a value low that's like really, here, let me see, I'll mark this up. It's at 210, 42, 210. So this looks like it might be a possible sweep right here. I mean, I wouldn't have taken it because that was such a big candle right there. But let's see if there's a lower level from here. See, the point of control is down here at 42.98. Point of control down there. Yeah, it looks like price has been dumping for a while down here. 42.390. Next point of control will be like way up here at 42.698. Well, that's way too far. I'm not even gonna bother marking those up. All right, so we got some areas right here. We got liquidity that's down here. Looks like the sweep did not happen at this point. It's fine. There's more levels down here. So if we're looking for a possible sweep, it may happen somewhere down below this area right here. So possibly at the sessions, there may be a possible sweep. I mean, price has been dumping for a while. You can see over here, like it's been dumping for a while. So it's probably due for a retracement at some point. Yeah, this thing has dropped pretty far below. There's no entries here right now. The MPS V2 came up like way up here pre-market, or it actually happened on the opening candle actually. So same thing as yesterday. If you guys remember yesterday, there's an MPS V2 that came up on the opening candle that was lined up with the breakout. So MPS V2 came up right here. We had a sell signal, retracement, confirmation on this big candle right here, and the entry would have happened on the opening candle right here at 6:30. So that is the MPS V2 for this momentum signal. There's no other MPS V2s here right now until we get a buy signal. It looks like the same kind of setups from yesterday. We had the breakout hit full TP, went straight to TP, and then we had the MPS V2 right here that happened exactly on the opening candle. And then there's nothing else here right now. There's no sweeps happening at this moment. Next level for sweeps are probably going to be down here. We have a New York low right here, which is the sessions, and then we have point of control, which is down here. So if we're looking for a possible sweep, I would probably look for price to come down here, bounce off, and come back up. It's probably gonna be the closest area right there for, possible sweep at that point. Otherwise, there's not really much else here right now. So I guess we'll see what happens here in a few. All right. So it looks like the initial sweep right here is probably playing out. This is a sweep that I just talked about earlier because we have a value low right here. I mean, I didn't get into this one because This was like right on open. For the sweeps here, it's a little tricky when you're trying to take one on open because you can see right here it kind of pushes down a bit. So, I mean, obviously, I wouldn't have taken this one right here because this was literally the opening candle. It came down to this sweep area, came down a little lower, and it swung back up. The sweep that I would be looking for would probably be down here. There's another possible MPS V2 pushing to the upside here. So this could possibly be a good MPS V2 coming up soon. So looking at this coming up here, if the buy signal does come up, it looks like it could line up with this sweep right here. So possible sweep, MPS V2 back up, and then push through here even further. Next sweep, so there's two different areas of sweep right here. There's a possible sweep that may happen up here. I think this is going to be a little tricky because there's so many levels up here. Like for me to take a sweep up here, you guys would have to pick one of these levels, of course, right? Um, yeah, I think this area up here is going to be a little too tricky. There's too many levels of liquidity here. If anything, I'd go for the highest one, which is like up here. Because if it does push up even to this next level, at least I'll be able to survive that and pull it back down. If you get into a sweep right here, this could possibly survive, if price decides to climb up higher. But this one over here is too tight. So if you end up getting it at a sweep right here, you may retrace up to the next level, grab that liquidity, and then stop you out before coming back down further. So if anything, I would go for these upper levels of liquidity right here, this one or these two. But we'll come back to that once price gets up to that area. I mean, obviously it's not there right now, so we're probably not going to get that. Still no buy signal here, so no MPS V2 coming up just yet. We have price kind of just sitting around this area down below. It looks like price is starting to establish some sort of range here. Bring this up a little bit. Yeah, so it looks like we're starting to get some sort of range right here. Price came below, established a low, came over here, established a high, and we're now starting to set up for some sort of range here. Let's see, Talanji said the breakout actually hit for 100 points every day this week. Nice. Yeah, the breakout's been on fire, guys. It's been hitting for 50 points and it's been hitting for 100 points. So if you guys have been taking the breakout, solid move right there. There's only two entries that have showed up for today so far, guys. Breakout over here, which basically went for 100 points, 50 points, and 100 points. Um, there goes a breakout right there. And then the MPS V2 that happened on the opening candle. Other than that, not much else happening here right now at the moment. So let's see what else we got here. All right, we got price pushing up right now. As you guys can see. All right, so the range is getting a little farther, guys. I'm just waiting for something here to come up. For the most part, I'm looking for a buy signal here to come up. If the buy signal comes up, we can look for a possible MPSV2 to the upside. If we don't get that buy signal, I'll be looking for price to come back lower and sweep these lower levels down here. All right, so I'm looking for one of two things to happen. Either price to break out of this range, come below here, sweep this area and come back up, or I'm looking for a buy signal here to come up. And I'm going to look for that MPSV2 to the upside. We don't have either here yet. Obviously this is going to take some time, of course. Looks like the volatility is still pretty high. It's just the direction isn't super directional right now. Yeah. So looking for a possible buy signal to come up and continuation up higher. Or again, if price comes back below, I'm looking for price to retrace the downside or continue to the downside, sweep this area and come back up. Yeah, so this area of sweep right here. So entry is going to be at 42,104. All right, so for the sweep right here, these are the parameters if price gets to that point. For the sweep over here, my sweep probably be from third level. We'll have to come back and think about this here. For me, I'd probably go for this upper level over here. So yeah, let's see. I'll just copy this over. All right. All right, so we got basically two sweep levels on both ends that I'm looking for. I'm not really looking for sweeps until price gets above this area right here. So I'm gonna look for price to, that's what I was saying earlier. If we get an MPSV2 for a buy, that could be possibly good because price can push up, climb up higher, take it to the upside, and then sweep it back down. So basically trades in both directions, push to the upside for MPSV2, push to the downside for liquidity sweep right there. Vice versa, if price doesn't go that high and we don't get the buy signal, if price comes down lower, that's fine too, because if price comes right here, looking for price to come down to this area, sweep and come back up. So we got two different areas right here for possible opportunity for sweeps. There's no buy signal, so there's no MPSV2 coming up anytime soon. There's an A++ setup that came up like right here, I believe, or right here. The only problem is that it was like really close to the sessions. Well, it was at the sessions actually. So we'll see. We'll see what happens here in a few. Again, price looks like it's creating a range here. So we currently have a consolidation range. Price breaks out of this range, we'll be looking for opportunities on both ends. So just a matter of time until opportunity presents itself. So we really just have a range here right now. All right, so yeah, we're gonna look for price to break out of this range so we can look for some opportunities here. So this is kind of where we're at. Again, it's fine if price breaks out of the range because what I'll be looking for here is if price does break out of this area, look for it to break and close below, sweep, and come back into the range. So it's just a matter of time, guys. You just got to be patient. Let me check the news for today. So we had high impact news at 5:30. It was a little bit mixed, more negative. Um, we have medium impact news at 7, and then medium impact news at 7:40. We got Fed Goolsbee speaking. So we had a high impact news at 5:30. I'll mark that up for you guys. So the news actually lines up with opening price. I'm just not going to mark that up because it's going to be on the same exact line. And then we have some medium impact news here at 7 o'clock. So again, you can see our price is respecting the range that I drew up for you guys. Not too much going on here. Price is just respecting the range. Just going back and forth, back and forth. All right, we have a pending buy signal right here. This could start setting up for a possible MPSV2. Again, I wouldn't take an MPSV2 within this range here. I would take it outside. So we got a buy signal right there that just closed. ATR right now is currently at 25, so the volatility is not super low. It's just not a lot of direction here. So we have a buy signal, possible retracement candle. If this comes back up above the momentum, that will be a possible MPSV2. The problem with that there is that price is going to be stuck within this range, and you don't really want to trade within the range, right? So you might want to be a little careful taking any MPSV2s within this area here. So just something to keep in mind. Yeah, just something to keep in mind here. All right, so no MPSV2 there for a buy. Looks like we might get an MPSV2 for a sell. If the sell signal here does close, looks like we're gonna get that sell signal here to close pretty soon. So no buy entries here right now. Possible MPSV2 here for a sell. This could be a good sign because if you guys want to take the MPSV2 for a sell down lower, you can probably ride it down to the sweep area and then ride it back up from there. So if we do get an MPSV2 self over here, you basically want the entry to happen somewhere around this area. Anywhere too low, it's going to be kind of tricky. Again, price over here just faked out one more time. So you can see over here, price is really respecting the range that I drew. So I drew this range right here, basically. And price is respecting it pretty well. It'll push out a little bit, but it won't actually close outside. So it looks like there may have been a possible sweep right here. Not a strong sweep, but a sweep nonetheless. So it looks like price came down, sweep this area of liquidity, and then pull back into the range. It's kind of tricky because we have the value low, which is right here down the middle. So like any of the liquidities around this area could be possible sweeps. And we got price pushing back up from there. So these areas of liquidity are pretty much done with. It basically swept this lower liquidity right here and pulled back into the range. This could be a possible sweep here again from this high point. So again, this might be another sweep to the downside. I wouldn't take sweeps in like this like small tight area, but I mean, nonetheless, these could be possible sweeps here. Actually, I wouldn't take any sweeps here because the value low is decked down here. Let's check to see if anything here is adjusted. The value low actually pushed down a little lower, 315. So it was right here at three, or actually, let me check. What are we doing here? Oh, it was this one right here. 225. Wait, they all kind of shifted a little bit. Let me make some adjustments here. 270. Yeah, they all kind of shifted here a little bit. I mean, not that it makes a big difference because no, actually this is right. The 210 was right here, and there was a one at 270. It's right here. There's just a lot of levels around this area because I mean it's so messy. You guys can see over here on the 30-minute time frame, price pushed up super bullish yesterday, and then it came all the way back down. So the value lows here are they're kind of chopped up all over the place. There's another one right here at three, say like at 390, 42, 390. That one's up there as well. There's an MPSV2 coming up right here, guys, but I'm not going to take it. It's right at the red flag. The session's right there, and then also a value low. So you may see a possible sweep around this area here if price ends up getting caught at the opening price. It's still running right now. It looks like it's pushing up. So I'll follow it for you guys. I'm not in this position though. There's red flags here. The red flags still fall into my red flag or areas that I avoid for MPSV2. For the sweeps, doesn't matter as much because you're looking for price to get manipulated on those points. But I wouldn't take an MPSV2 here personally because of the opening price. I would have been worried that price would have bounced off that. So if you guys are in it, it looks like it's pushing up right now. I'll be looking for a possible sweep somewhere above that area there. So I'm going to clean this up a little bit. Down below, these sweeps are done with. There's no other levels here. So it looks like the MPSV2 is about to hit. Full TP right there. Kyle caught it for 20 points. Nice work, Kyle. Yeah, it's just this whole area here is like it's a tricky area because for one, price was barely pushing out of the range here. So like I don't like trading around the range. And then on top of that, we had a red flag, which is the opening price right there. You can see right there, I just tap TP. It's probably gonna push up a little bit higher. There's gonna be areas for sweeps over here. So like I said earlier, guys, any of these areas can be the sweep area. So it can be a sweep down here, sweep up here. Any of these levels here would be sweeps. For me personally, I'd be looking for the sweep up here, right? Because I don't want to get in too early and then price pushes up higher and higher and then it comes down from here. So the lowest point of sweep for me would be this level right here where I have this parameter set up. I mean, there may be new levels of sweep, but um, we'll kind of see where it's at as price moves along. And then we have high impact news coming up right here at 7 o'clock. Thanks, Maria, for the heads up. Yeah, so you can see right here, it's pretty calculated. You can see the MPSV2 just hit TP, and then now it's pulling back into the range. So I wouldn't consider this a sweep area. I would just consider this a fake out area. Price broke above the value low, faked out, came right back into the range. See, this is why I would have been worried about taking an entry right here, because this is what I would have thought to happen at this area right here. You've seen this happen so many times, right? Where price pushes up, fakes out, comes back into the range. This just pushed up a little further. Pretty much lured in the buyers. As soon as the buyers got in, pushed price right back down, stopped them all out. Check CNBC. Is there any breaking news right now? Not quite. And we're back into the range. So like I said earlier, it's like basically this upper push right here was kind of irrelevant. Same with this lower push right here. It just created a fake out zone. So I'm probably going to wait until around 7 o'clock for the value high and value low to adjust because it's just way too high right now. I mean, the value high is way up here, point of control is way up here, value low is right here. I need this to adapt with the market at least a little bit. Let's see, 42,225 is going to be there's just too many areas here where price can bounce from, right? Like if you look over here on the market profile, it's just way too messy, guys. Like I wish I could have better zones here to identify for the sweeps, but there's just way too many. There's like one right here, there's one right here, there's one right here, there's one right here. They're all like kind of bunched up around this area. And it's really hard to tell where they're sitting at. So yeah, it's a mess. I think for me personally, I think the market for today is a bit of a mess. Because look how price moved from yesterday up until today. Big bullish push right here. Basically based off the Nvidia calls that came through the earnings. Price, it just kind of pushed price up super heavily, balanced out, and then now it came right back down to where it was before. It's basically balanced. So if you look at price here, price is basically balanced back down. So we had that big bullish push right there that happened in the afternoon, and price is pretty much balanced. So you can see over here, this is where price was before the news yesterday, the Nvidia earnings. It created all that hype and pushed price up, basically lost its steam here and came back down. So this area right here is basically where it should be for all that crazy movement from yesterday. It's all manipulation, guys. Like, if you understand how the market reacts to like certain news, like earnings calls, especially with a big company like Nvidia, Nvidia causes stuff like that because of the AI. Tesla used to cause stuff like that because everyone was like invested into Tesla initially. Same with Apple, same with, all these other companies that have like these news that happen overnight. So if you look here on the 30-minute, you can see it a little bit more clear. So basically, like I said earlier, this middle area right here, this is where price was supposed to be, right? Price was already down here. The news came out yesterday, pushed price up, flattened out, came right back down. It's like this stuff over here never happened, right? If you think about it, this is all like news movement, but this here is where price should have been to begin with. So it's pretty much back to where it was. All right, 7 o'clock, news just happened right here. So we got some medium impact news right here. I'll be looking for I mean, I really want price to break out of this range and stay out of it, but it keeps getting pulled back in. Yeah, Christian said good thing is that the ATR is at 30. Yeah. I mean, the volatility is high enough right now. We have another possible MPSV2 setting up for a buy here. Again, it's going to be in a tricky area because we're going to be right at the range. And then we're also going to have opening price, which is up here. We got price kind of pushing up right here again. So there may be an upper range here. I'll just draw this here for now. All right, so we got price pushing back up. This is a possible MPSV2 setting up for a buy. We're not in sweep zones right now, at least not yet, until we get some adjustments here. 375. Let me see if I have that marked up. So the next level up here is going to be at 375. I'll move this down a little bit. All right, so if this is the case where I mean, the entry for the sweep might be down here now. Because the value low is like it's adjusted a bit. All right, so the sweep may be a little lower now, right there. I'll keep looking to see where these levels are starting to adjust a little bit. We have a point of control which is at 42,263. 42,263. Trying to figure out where this 270. I'm gonna leave that there. I'm gonna leave the point of control where it is. There's a value high right here at 225. And it's such a mess. There's just so many levels here. Typically, we have like one value low, one point of control, uh, one value high. Right here, we have so many. We have the value low, which is up here, and they're kind of like spread out. They're kind of spread out a bit. Um, yeah, I mean, it's a mess. I'll try to clean this up as much as I possibly can, but it really is a bit of a mess here. This could be another possible sweep area if anybody's looking to take it. It's just tricky when you have these sweep areas that are so close to each other because, the sweep can happen right here or the sweep can happen down here or even worse down here, right? It's just too many levels here. Its market's been super choppy, so it's created a bunch of levels here, like possible opportunities for sweeps. I probably wouldn't mess with this first one. This one down here is probably a better option. Like these are super, super messy charts compared to what we've had in the past. And the market was actually pretty slow these past couple of days, so this increased volatility is tricky. I mean, my sweep zone is still down here. It's pretty far below, but this point of control down here. Yeah, 0.97. Not really expecting price to go all the way down here, at least not yet. If we get down this low, then I'll mark up some levels, but for the most part, um, I don't think it's super necessary. Yeah, because this is at 41,986. That's way down here. 41,986. It's way down here. It's super far. And we don't have liquidity down here anyway, so it's not like it's gonna really matter too much. What really matters is where the liquidity is sitting. Yeah, because the liquidities are pretty spread out when you get down here. This here makes sense. This here is a mess because there's just so much on the chart right now. All right, we got price coming down lower. We'll clean up this level. Clean up this level. Possible sweep right here, but ideally I'd rather take the sweep down here at 42,104. And there was an MPSV2 that came up right here, Sam. Yeah, you're right. So it was this one right here. So we had the sell signal, price retraced up. It closed below here for confirmation. This was an MPSV2 for a sell right there. So we got the MPSV2 pushing down to the sweep area down below. So my sweep point is going to be right here at 42,104. All right, I'm doing half risk, guys, so I can have opportunity for two entries for moving forward. So instead of taking 12 contracts, 13 contracts, I'm only taking 6. You can see right here. So I'm looking for the possible sweep down here. Price makes it below. We have a point of control down there. So I'll be looking for price to come down here and bounce back up. Yeah, so I'm only taking half risk on this trade here. I have a buy limit just sitting right here at the 42,104. If price ends up pushing up from here, I'm going to cancel it because it would have swept from this right here, this liquidity instead of this one down below. I think we have the Fed speaking at like 7:40, I believe. Okay, so we might be in the clear until about 7:40. All right, so it looks like the sweep is happening right here, guys. Might have to cancel my limit order. The sweep looks like it's taken off without us. I'm gonna leave it there for right now. If this here pushes through and finishes a sweep right there on this liquidity, then I'm going to cancel it. I'll just have to look for another area of sweep. Price is kind of just sitting right there right now. We'll see if it comes back down. If it comes back down, I still have my pending order waiting right here. If this pushes past through here and it's the sweep is done with, then I'm going to cancel my order because this area is already swept. I'll just look for better opportunity. Yeah, it's Longi took the sell MPS, but this is a crazy market right now. Yeah, it is. It's all over the place, as you guys can see here. It's not really. I mean, it's literally all over the place. It's not really very clear. There's a lot of zones everywhere. You can see how price is kind of just jumpy. I mean, I'm looking over here. There's possibly, the sweep possibly happened right there because there was a value low, which is at 135. 135, which was, yeah, actually it was right at this liquidity zone right there. So still watching this area here. Price may come down and sweep that lower point. My pending order is still waiting down there. It's messy. So price is still trying to push through. Looks like that sweep there is about to be done. It gets really close to the TP and it just stags. It just gets stagnant right there. Um, yeah, I'm actually glad we didn't get into that MPS or that liquidity sweep at that point because I feel like this here would have stressed me out quite a bit because it's I probably would have closed out already. If I was in the sweep right here, I would have closed out like once you got close to the TP because the sweeps aren't supposed to take that long. They're supposed to just come down, grab liquidity, and sweep up. Right. This sweep is taking a long time for it to push through. The ATR is currently at 29. I guess you could have adjusted your TP stop loss to something a little smaller, like 29 or 25. Like that would have hit for sure. But the sweeps you definitely don't want to hold for too long because they're not meant to be full on reversals. Technically, when you're doing sweeps, they're counter trend trading because you're kind of going against the trend. You're looking for the bottom to get established and then it pushes through. So that sweep is done with, guys. I'm going to cancel my pending order because this area of sweep is pretty much over with. All right, so I'm not looking for this sweep here anymore. If you guys want to take this sweep, feel free. This is still going to be considered a sweep area, but this sweep is pretty much done with. The sweep happened right here. The value low kind of shifted a little bit. So that provided for opportunity at this sweep right here because the value low adjusted to 135. So technically there was a sweep area. I mean, they're both sweep areas. It just depends on how riskier you're looking to take, right? If you want to get in from the sweep right here, you could have gotten in. But if this was the case and price could have dropped further, where I was looking to get in from, you could have gotten stopped out because your stop loss would have been before the lower sweep. So if you guys caught that sweep there, solid. If you guys didn't, it's completely fine. My sweep did not get filled down here. Got close to it. So we got really close right here to getting filled. Unfortunately, it was not close enough. It was only off by a few points. And my analysis here is just playing out perfect. So it's doing exactly what I said earlier, right? So earlier I mentioned look out for the sweep and then push back into the range. And that's exactly what's happening here. There's a possible MPSV2 setting up right here for a buy. The problem with this MPSV2 right here is that it's going to have to cut into the red flags like we talked about earlier. There's a sessions right here. So this point right here, if it does push around, it can continue pushing from there. Glenn said maybe it bounced off support level. Well, this would be a support level. The support level is the same as liquidity sweep because that's the low that we marked up here. So, I mean, it doesn't matter your analysis, whether you call it a support or whether you call it a liquidity sweep, it's the same thing. So see where I drew the line? That's where the sweep happened. That's where your support would have happened, right? But there's two levels of support here. There could have been a support right here, or there could have been a lower support right here. So it doesn't matter what you call it. If you call it a sweep, if you call it support, it's the same thing. They're all marked up at the lows. This is the low that I marked up, and this is another low. So there's basically two levels of support here. There could have been a support up here. There could have been a support down here. Whether you call it support or liquidity sweep, it's the same thing. They're all marked up at the previous lows. So that's why I always tell you guys, like, it doesn't matter like what strategy you're applying or what analysis. You can call it whatever you want to call it, right? If you want to call it support, if you want to call it liquidity, if you want to call it a sweep level, if you want to call it a point of control, if you want to call it a value low. See this green line right here? There's three different things that were in the same exact price point. So there was a support there was a value low, and there's also liquidity sweep. So it doesn't matter what you call it, they're exactly at the same area. right there. That's why like it doesn't matter what strategy you're applying. If if you're playing supply and demand, right? People might call this a supply zone. I mean, it doesn't really matter. You call it supply, call it resistance, call it support, call it whatever. Multiple analysis will line up around the same area. So it's just up to whatever you guys want to call it. For me, I'm considering it a sweep area, but it lines up exactly with the support level. So if whether you want to call it support or sweep, same thing, same thing. Uh, so like same with this right here, like what Glenn mentioned right now about the support level, there's another support level that's right here because this is a low. So with all these blue lines here, these are untested high lows. So they're considered support and resistance, if that's your analysis for it. But for me, I'm using them as sweeps. So price is coming back down from this point. There was no MPS V2 that came up yet. If price pushes back up from here, we have a buy signal, retracement, possible continuation to the upside. This could be a possible MPS V2 up. The only problem with this here again is that if it does push up, it may have to push into the sessions right here. We have another possible sell signal coming up. So like I said earlier, there's another possible area of sweep. So I think this sweep level down here could still happen. Yeah, because this area hasn't been tested yet. So there's still going to be an area for possible sweep down there. This thing hasn't been shifting too much. 360 is like where the next value, that's too far up. Yeah, 42, 360 is way up there. So I'm not going to mark that up yet. But again, there may be a possible area for sweep right here, guys. Same sweep that we were looking at earlier. Looks like price might be creating some sort of range at this point. So this is going to be again at 42,104. Here, I'll put my limit order there again just in case. So
Submitted.
price is over here rejecting directly off the value low. The value low right here at 135. But I'm looking for it to come down to the point of control and bounce off there. So my entry is going to be around this area down here. What I'm looking for is for price to come down a little lower and then possibly bounce off that. We have gas stock change coming up at 7:30. We have the Fed speaking at 7:40. So we do got some news coming up shortly too. So I'm looking for a possible sweep right here, guys. Down to this here. It looks like it's creating a new range. So we'll see. Again, I'm taking half risk on this trade, so um, obviously not full risk. Sweep might be happening right here at the value low. So again, my sweeps happen at the liquidity levels. I don't really take them at the value low, value high point of control. I try to take them at the liquidity levels. As long as they line up nearby the market profile, then from there I'm using that as a confluence. So like I would only take liquidity sweeps around these areas here. I wouldn't really take liquidity sweeps that happen too far below. So like something like down here is too far and there's no like confluences around it. And same with like this level right here. Unless we get that, I mean, at some point we may be able to get something like that, but right now, not so much. You can see our price is having trouble getting past the value low here. You can see where the wicks are bouncing off directly off this green line because that's where the value low is currently sitting. So you guys can see here how the bounce is happening right there off that green line. I'm hoping for it to get down below here So we can get that bounce off the green box. All right, so there may be a possible MPSV2 setting up right here, guys. We have a sell signal, retracement. If this here closes below, this could be a possible MPSV2 for a sell. This is going to be a little tricky, but I mean, this could possibly work because we can have a possible MPSV2 push down to this area of liquidity right here. For me personally, I would probably just, I'm just going to wait for this liquidity to get triggered. But yeah, this MPSV2 could push down. I just don't like how these candles are wicking. See how it's wicking back and forth? It's like down here, and then at the last second it can wick up and then not be an MPSV2. All right, so the MPSV2 actually didn't close there, but this could be a possible good setup because it looks like the MPSV2 will push down to the sweep down here. So MPSV2 push down to the sweep. So basically MPSV2 down and then sweep back up. I just don't like how these candles are moving because it keeps spiking back and forth the last second. Candle has about like 25 seconds left on it. See like that again right there. See how it wicks right back up? This candle has to close below this point right here in order for it to be an MPSV2. So it looks like price basically swept off this value low and came right back up already. All right, so there's no MPSV2 for a sell here at this point. The volume here is starting to die down a little bit. We got natural gas stock change at 7:30. We got the Fed speaking at 7:40. Man, what a messy market today. So many levels, so many different areas for price to bounce off of. So again, I was looking for the sweep to happen down here. It didn't come low enough. It came right to this value low, but not to the point of control down here. All right, we don't got much going on here, guys. Price kind of pushed up back a little bit. There's a possible MPSV2 that may be setting up here in a little bit. We have a buy signal. Price is pushing up. We don't have the retracement yet. It looks like I might have to cancel my order down here again. So again, my sweep did not get filled, unfortunately. I'm going to cancel my order. I'll put it back up if price ever comes back to that area. You know, there's possible opportunities for sweep up here now
Order canceled.
around the opening price. So there's a sweep level. There's actually a couple levels up here. I mean, there's a level right here too, but I wouldn't consider this a sweep level. Yeah, it's a messy market, guys. Ton of like price got really close to our fill right here, didn't actually fill it, which is okay. Um, there's just a lot going on. You can see like usually my charts aren't this messy, but for today there's just so many there's so many market profile zones. We have these ranges that I've marked up from earlier pre-market. We have a lot of areas of liquidity that are kind of just popping up all over the place because price is going back and forth very often. I mean, this could be a possible sweep area right here. The problem with this being the sweep area that I'd be looking for is that there's other areas up here. So what I'd be worried about is if price doesn't actually sweep right here and it pushes up higher and it sweeps up here, or it pushes up even higher and it sweeps up here, right? Ideally, I'd probably want to get in at one of these higher levels. Um, yeah, because let's see, if we take this here for a 30-30, I mean, you might be able to survive drawdown. So like price might push up, sweep up here, and then come back down. So you might be able to survive that. but you might get stopped out depending on like, price just has some volatility spikes here. This here also is a little tricky, but you have a little more opportunity here for some wiggle room, right? Like price might retrace up a little bit and then come right down. So if I want to look for possible opportunities here, I would probably go for this mid-level. If I want to take a sweep at that point. I want to take an MPSV too, but there's just too much on the chart. It's just so messy right now that I'm worried that I'm going to get caught in either a sweep or I'm going to get caught in a fake out. Okay, so we have a possible sweep, or sorry, MPSV2 setting up right here. This MPSV2 could possibly be good because what might happen here is the MPSV2 may push up to the sweep and then come back down. So we have a buy signal here, price is pushing up. We're now going to look for possible retracement and then continuation back to the upside. All right, the volatility here is starting to slow down a little bit. There's no retracement yet. See, the thing is, the market here is super messy, but I think this is a good learning experience for a lot of people because this is very fast paced. So the market's super, super fast paced today. So like this really gets you, it trains you to think on your feet. Because the thing is, there's so many sweep areas that are coming up and there's so many MPS V2s that are coming up that if you can operate in this type of market, then you can operate in basically any type of market. Right, because like the past 2 days have been super easy because the market was super slow. But today there's a lot going on. Like if you can mark up these areas of liquidity, if you can identify MPSV2s, if you can identify liquidity sweeps, if you can mark up multiple areas of confluence, then this is good practice. Honestly, like for me right now, it's a little much because we haven't had a fast-paced market like this in a while. But I've done this before. It's not like this is the first time I've dealt with a fast-paced market. Because you can see I've marked up everything here manually, right? I've marked up pretty much all these ranges. I've marked up all these high lows. I've marked up the liquidities. I've marked up the targets. I've marked up entries. I've done all this by hand. So, if you can operate in this type of market and not get stressed out too much and be able to still execute your trades, you should be perfectly fine in any type of market. So it's always good practice to be able to react to the market when it's moving very quickly or when it's very choppy, because this just means that when the market's slow, you're going to be able to mark everything up and not miss anything. So there's no MPS V2 here yet. There's a possible MPS V2 setting up if this candle closes green. We have a buy signal. We have a retracement. The green candle is going to confirm the direction. Um, I wouldn't take it because it's right here at the red flag. There's obviously a session that's right there at London low. If you guys do want to take it, I can mark it up for you guys and you guys can follow it through. So this candle is closing in about 30 seconds. Again, if this candle closes green, this is a possible MPSV2. I don't think this is going to be a great entry because there's so many red flags around this area. However, this could play through because it might push up to the sweep area here and then come back down. So a lot of stuff happening really quickly. You just gotta, you gotta keep your eyes peeled. You gotta be paying attention, especially in this type of market. It's really easy to miss stuff. So there goes the MPSV2 currently running right there. Like I said, this here could push up to the sweep area and then bounce off here and come back down. The problem with this here is that there's two levels of sweep, so I'm personally not going to look for a sweep down here. I'm gonna look for the sweep that's a little higher. Yeah, Shabam said, I like this MPS, but I'll hold off, especially because those sharp drops today have been choppy. Yeah, exactly. It's a choppy market today. I mean, it might not look super choppy here, but if you were watching it live, you can see it. You can see the movement. It was kind of all over the place, especially with these big wicks down below. The MPS V2 is pushing up right there. Sam actually caught it. So nice work, Sam. He caught it for I think 20, I believe, or maybe 30. It's almost there. But Sam looks like he got out for his TP already. Nick caught it as well. Full TP right there, 30 points, guys. You guys caught that MPSV2. And Talanji got it for 25. Nice work. Sam got it. Nick got it. Talanji got it. Great work, guys. Yeah, Sam got it for 20. So everyone kind of got in at different targets. Sam got it for 20. Nick got it for 25. Talanji got it for 25. Great work, guys. That was perfect, right? Right to the 30, and then look what happened after. Came straight down. Nice work, guys. I mean, this has been a pretty good week with our entries and our setups here. My analysis has been pretty much perfect to the T this whole week. Um, I mean, obviously, I would like more opportunities here for entry, but I can't complain. As long as you guys are profiting, I'm not, there's nothing to complain about here, right? I'm okay. I'm fine if I'm not able to get in all of these entries. Obviously, I'm being a little more conservative here than most people, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. Like as long as somebody here is winning, it's a win for all of us, right? So, all right, whatever we got here. So my liquidity zone here didn't get swept, so the sweep still didn't happen. Price is still respecting this range here. So if you guys look at this area, this range has been respected pretty much all session. I marked up this range from when we started earlier today, and price is still respecting this range perfectly. Nice, Rev got it for 20 points as well. Nice work, Rev. All right, we got price coming back down here a little lower. We have a possible MPSV2 now to the downside. See if there's any new zones here. Move this up a little higher. All right, so we're getting a ton of liquidity kind of bunched up in like the same area. So if you look over here, we have the sweep, which I was looking to take up here, but we got more liquidity that's kind of just hanging out right here now, right at the value low. Let me see here if there's any adjustments. This point of control is adjusted to 248. I don't even know if I have that marked up there. 248. It's way too messy. I'm not even going to mark that up. We got price coming back down to this value low, which is it's now at 121. So this got moved down a little lower. So I'm still looking at the sweep zone down here, guys, at the 42,104. I mean, the sweeps can happen anywhere now because there's possibility of sweep right here, possibility of sweep right here, or possibility of sweep down here. I'm going for the lowest one, of course, at 42,104. There may be an MPSV2 setting up right here. So if this MPSV2 sets up, this might push down to the liquidity and then sweep from there. ATR is sat around 30 L pretty much majority of the day today, so it's consistent volatility. All right, so possibly a break and retest right here, and then MPSV2, and then sweep back up. A lot of entries that came up today, guys. Breakout hit for today, 100 points right there. This right here was an MPSV2. This right here was a sweep. This right here was an MPSV2. This right here is MPSV2, sweep, MPSV2, and then I was looking for a possible sweep. So there's a lot of entries that came out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 entries for the day. It's a lot of entries. Seems like every day we're having about like 7 or 8 entries. Okay, again here, like I said, guys, price is respecting my range, right? So you can see price will push away from out of this range and it comes right back to it. Pushes away from the range, comes back to it. Pushes away, comes back to it. Pushes away, comes back to it. It's just a, repeat process here as price continues to bounce around. All right, not much going on here. Price is back in the range down here. I mean, I'm still looking for the sweep, guys. I have a sweep up here, I have a sweep down here. Um, there hasn't been too much of an update here with regard to the zones. 345. Right, so 345 is the next upper zone here. Where's this one at? The 270. Okay. 270, 345 is down. All right, market is still chopping around this area here. There's not really too much to work with. Looking for some sort of opportunity. There's no MPS V2. Again, if price sets up for an MPS V2, we need price to close below this area right here. So we got a sell signal, retracement, possible continuation back down further from there. And then from here, possible sweep back up. So you guys can see the storyline here, right? This is a storyline of like what we're expecting price to do if price ends up moving how it should. If it doesn't move this way, it's fine. The analysis kind of shifts a little bit. Instead of looking for MPSV2 for a sell, if a buy signal comes up right here, we may get possible MPSV2 to the upside and then sweep back down from here, right? So it doesn't really matter which direction price goes. We have a sweep waiting up here. We have a sweep waiting down here. The MPSV2 can push down or it can push up. So we got price coming back down right here. We have the sell signal. If this here closes below this area, possible MPSV2 for a sell. And again, if we get that MPSV2 for a sell right there, so again, the pattern here is going to play out like this. Retracement, confirmation, sweep, pull back into the range. It's basically a big head and shoulders, inverted head and shoulders. Yeah, so this here might set up for that MPSV2 that we just talked about. Again, the candle would have to close below this area though. It has to for sure close below this area. It can't be bouncing back and forth. It's got to close below this area right here. Sweep is still up for grabs down here. Forty-two 104. So again, it's got to close below this point. If it closes below this point, then we're probably gonna get a drop further. It's gotta close below this line right here. Did not close below the line. Again, it's gotta close below this line right here. Got another minute on this candle. See if it drops below. See, if this wasn't so wishy-washy, I would have taken this for an MPSV2, but the problem is price has been trying to get below this area for a long time now. I mean, it's been trying. Looks like this might be the candle where it finally actually does push through. Again, like I said, it might push through below and then maybe bounce off any of these areas of liquidity. For me personally, I would rather take the liquidity sweep versus the MPSV2 because the thing is this can bounce at any of these levels here. It can bounce right here, it can bounce right here, or it can bounce down here. I'm looking for the bounce down here. So no MPSV2 there. Again, you can see here the candle spiked right back up. It's got to close below this point here. Again, no closure there. So if this candle closes red, this will possibly be the MPS V2 setup. It's got to close red. Let's see, Solange said following the candle open below. So here, I'll draw a line here. I think even this candle didn't close below it. Yeah, because it was close. It wasn't there specifically. So the candle would have to close below this black line right here. Because that's where the momentum's at. It actually never closed below there. It got really close to it. I thought it was going to close below it, but it didn't. So, yeah, it's all good to Solange. It was close enough. All right, and we're back into the range, it looks like. 7:44 right now. We're getting closer to 8 o'clock, guys. Unfortunately, I mean, I was really hoping I'd get this sweep today, but, due to this messy market and messy conditions here, I mean, the sweep just isn't coming up. It's just not coming up. All right, we'll keep looking here. I mean, obviously the upper sweep is not going to happen. If anything happens today, it's going to be this lower sweep. Like that's the only thing I can really look for. The Fed's supposed to be speaking right now at 7:40. I don't think it's televised, so can't really see what he's saying. But yeah, I'm not expecting price to push up here in the next 15 minutes. Right? It's too far of a push. That's going to be 130 points. That's probably not going to happen. If anything, we may get the sweep down here, about 50 points. MPSV2 is still setting up right here, guys. So, I mean, if you guys are still looking to take it, it's not quite there yet, but it is pushing down further. Got 30 seconds left on this candle here. Madu's asking, are you identifying swoop areas from higher time frames? Yeah, it's where the liquidity is sitting. That's why it's like how I marked up the liquidity, like how I mark up the liquidity pretty much every morning. That's where the sweeps are identified. I mean, it doesn't really matter because the high lows are going to be on different time frames regardless. But yeah, I mean they're on all the time frames. Basically, where I marked up all of the high lows from market open. So this sweep over here that I'm looking to take, this one here was from like yesterday, I think. It's way over here. Yeah, so this was from yesterday at 12:53. So this is obviously on a higher time frame, maybe on the hour, maybe on the 30 minute. Not sure exactly what time frame, but it is on a higher time frame. It's not from the 1 minute because the 1 minute doesn't extend that far out. All right, so there's nothing there, guys. The MPSV2 hasn't came up here yet. So nothing here for the MPSV2. Price never came below. There's actually gonna be no MPSV2 for a sell now because there is a buy signal which came up. So Yeah, no MPSV2 there, guys, unfortunately. It's a new low right here. So there's a new low right there. I mean, you guys can see how messy this market is. There's liquidity sitting up here. There's liquidity sitting down here. Um, they're just, I mean, it's all over the place. But one thing that you can all agree on here is the range here is being respected, right? Price pushes away, pulls back into the range. That's why I was looking for the sweep to happen down here and pull back into the range, or the sweep to happen up here and pull back into the range. We just haven't really had price push out that far. It's really just been respecting the range right here. This is the meat of the market right now. It's really down here. Everything out is a fake out, right? Price pushes out, fakes out, pulls back in. Price pushes out, fakes out, pulls back in. Fake out, back into this middle range. So I'm looking to get the far end of the fake out. I'm looking for price to really fake out down here and then pull back into the range. We just don't have that. Um, yeah, it's not really much here. But yeah, I mean, if you guys have my tools, you guys know it's easy to mark up these liquidity zones, these liquidity sweeps, these ranges, etc. It's not really easy to do this if you're doing it by hand. It makes it damn near impossible to do it this quickly. Like, there's no way you can really identify liquidity like this quickly without the high lows, right? Because these high lows come up pretty quick. I mean, there can be a lot of areas where liquidity can be marked up. It can be here, 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 it can be everywhere. But thankfully, we have the indicator here to really identify where to place our liquidity. Like without the tools, it's really hard to do this on the 1 minute. You can probably do it on the 5 minute, maybe on the higher time frames, but on the 1 minute, it's super, super difficult because it's happening too quickly. All right. So yeah, if you guys want access to these tools, I know a lot of people have been asking about them. If you want access to these tools to identify liquidity, identify momentum, identify market profile, etc., you can get it on the website. Website is kodikaitrades.com. If you guys haven't gotten access to the free trial is open to people who haven't gotten access to it yet. If you have had access to it already, it's not available to you. It's only a one-time use. But if you want to have access to it and just use these tools to identify sweeps and direction, for 7 days, it's available to you. Yeah, a lot of people have been asking because I mean, we've been getting a lot more people interested in how I identify sweeps because, liquidity sweeps are not new. They've been around for a long time. There's like a lot of different ways and different names for it. For us, we used to trade liquidity in the direction of price. So like for example here, this is where the sweep and liquidity push kind of go hand in hand. So for example, I'm not really expecting a sweep to happen right here. So I'm expecting this to be a liquidity push, meaning price will push past it, push past this level right here too for another liquidity push. And then the sweep happens at this lower level or it swings back up. Um, so it's the same liquidity we've been marking up for years. I created this indicator and this tool, I think like 5 years ago. It's a long time. It was one of the first tools that I created along with the momentum. So it's been around for a while. We just haven't really used it in this way in in a long time. I mean, I haven't taken liquidity pushes in years. I think last time I took liquidity push was when we were trading on FTMO, which is like maybe 2 years ago. But it's been helpful. It's helpful because we can identify trades in both directions. We can identify an MPSV2. So for example, there's a sell signal here that's pending. If the sell signal closes, we may get an MPSV2 to the downside, but then we can also catch a sweep back to the upside. There's a big order that just came in on time and sales. 54 contracts for a sell at 42,161. Looks like someone's trying to push price down right now. I don't consider this a stop area unless someone stopped out right there, but big order like pushed in from right there. Yeah, Shivam said, yeah, I remember 2 years ago when I was trading live with you, I took liquidity entries. Yeah, exactly. The liquidity is a good strategy, but I think now that we're incorporating the sweeps, it makes even more sense. Because the liquidity push is like a short-term 10-point move, and the sweeps are actually like a harder reversal where you can go for a bigger move because you're kind of getting the bottom of the market or the top of the market. 752 right now, guys. Like I said earlier, we might be at a point where volatility is going to start to die down. You can see the ATR here is start to lower quite a bit. Currently at 24 ATR. We were closer to 30 earlier, so it looks like the volatility here is definitely starting to die down a little bit. Ah, man, this I was hoping we get something today, that I would get something. It looks like a lot of you guys here did catch most of these entries. There were risky entries, but you guys did catch them and they did hit. Um, yeah, we're getting closer to 8 o'clock, unfortunately. The volatility here is starting to slow down a lot. It's all good. I still haven't taken any trades this week, guys. Can you believe that? That's crazy. It's been a pretty good week, but like I haven't taken any trades because I've been like a little cautious, especially coming back from a holiday week. Holiday weeks are always tricky, guys. You guys know that. I feel like every time we trade during a holiday week, there's always like something going on, or the market's kind of all over the place. And that's kind of what's happening here. It's market is all over the place. We got so many markups on the chart today. Hopefully they make sense to you guys, but we do have a ton of markups on the chart, and they all mean something, right? I'm hoping over the next couple days we're not going to have all of these zones on here. Like the market profile, it's just a mess. You guys can see over here, like the value high for today is way up here. There's no way we get to this point up here. So like this is why this was kind of pointless because I couldn't use today's value high. I had to use yesterday's value high, which is right here. And even then, we still wouldn't get to this price point right here because price has been down here the whole time. The only thing that's really close to current price, or not even close to it, is a value low right here, which is this green line. But again, price never got to this point, right? The last time price was at this value low was at 5 o'clock this morning. So this whole live session, we haven't been near any market profile. We had to use market profile from the previous days, which doesn't really happen very often, right? Market profile is supposed to follow price, but because we've had like such a big slump right here, like if you look at the range from basically London session until today, this is a huge range. Prices moved about, it dropped almost 6,000 point or 600 points, 6,000 pips, 600 points since London session. So this is where it kind of screws up the market because like this is the high point, this is the low point, or this is the low point before it dropped even further. So it's just a little tricky, guys, when you're trading this type of market, which is completely fine. This is probably one of those days where sitting out of the market is probably a better idea than to kind of risk it. But either way, I mean, the strategy still hit. So again, let's see how many entries came up today. The breakout hit for full TP right here for 100 points. That's one. MPSV2 right here, full TP, 30 points. That's two. Liquidity sweep, MPSV2, MPSV2, liquidity sweep, MPS V2, and that's about it. So one, two, three, four, five, six, seven entries today, which have came up and all hit full TP. I don't think there was any losses for the day. A lot of these entries were just a little bit risky. So for example, this MPS V2 was on the opening candle. Obviously, I wouldn't have taken that one. This over here was a sweep that happened too early. Like the sweep was way up here. I was looking for a lower sweep. This right here, we had an MPS V2. It was at the opening price, another red flag. This right here was an MPSV2 for a sell, which was right at the sessions. This right here was a sweep. It was a little too early of a sweep. I was looking for the lower sweep. Price never came back down that low. This one over here was an MPSV2. It was right at the sessions again. And that was about it. I mean, everything else here that, like literally everything here was at a red flag or the sweeps happened too early. Like the sweep was way up here. I was looking for my sweep to come down just a little bit lower, but it never filled. So it's all good. I mean, it was only off by a few points again right here. So the sweep happened right here, but my entry was going to be right here, about 9 points away. That would have been perfect because if it would have swept down here, would have rode this all the way up, or if it came down right here for the sweep, would have went all the way back up. It would have filled, the range that we were talking about earlier. Yeah, Sam said, look at the trend line liquidity below, trapping everyone. Yeah, exactly. I mean, people who are chasing the sells here, it's pretty easy for them to get caught up because now it flipped back up to stop out all the sellers. I was just hoping it dropped even lower, so I was hoping it dropped down to this point right here so I can catch that trap. But it's all good. It's part of the game. There's no need to force anything here, of course. It's just that's trading for you. The good thing here is I didn't FOMO into anything, right? I could have easily FOMOed into a trade here. Like if this sweep didn't get filled, I could have easily FOMOed right here and still probably would have won. But I didn't do that, right? I think that's the biggest takeaway from this type of market and from this trading day. It's really not FOMOing into entries, being able to stay consistent with your trading plan and staying disciplined, not to take entries when they're not there. There's an MPSV2 that came up right here again. I think Shiv mentioned it. Or Talanji mentioned it actually. Yeah, Talanji said buy MPS but didn't take it. So we had a buy signal here, retracement, confirmation right there. Yeah, it's a little bit of a tricky entry. It would have happened right there again at the sessions. Yeah, so this is another MPS V2 that came up. Unfortunately, this here would have happened right at the session. So this is another red flag here that I wouldn't have taken. It's about to be 8 o'clock right now, guys. So unfortunately, I don't think the sweep's going to happen. Let's see. Justin said, "Wild day, man. Didn't take anything. My crypto trades have me emotionally scarred at the moment. Where's Bitcoin right now? Let me see. Oops, wrong thing. Yeah, I mean, Bitcoin is still pretty high, but it's starting to kind of tumble a little bit. I'm actually glad I sold off mine. So I actually sold all of my Bitcoin up here, guys. All of it. So I made about, I mean, I had about like in total, maybe like a little over 100,000. So I mean, I don't know how much profit I made on that. Maybe like 60 or 70. It seems like a lot, but I've been holding on to that Bitcoin for years, guys, for a really, really long time. It was time for me to sell off my Bitcoin. And I was gonna buy it lower. But yeah, when price pushed up right here and it came back down, I was kind of pissed at myself. I was like, man, I should have got rid of it. And then price pushed back up over here again, and I finally sold off it. And then obviously it pushed up a little higher there, but I sold off on mine because I've been holding on to these Bitcoins from 2016. So it's been almost 10 years now. I just been holding on to it. Um, yeah, so I made about like 60,000 on it. I mean, it seems like a lot, but it really isn't, to be honest. I got to pay taxes on that, so I'm not too thrilled to see how much I owe in taxes on that Bitcoin that I made. Um, yeah, I mean the Bitcoin's still pretty high. The thing is, I don't know if it's gonna push very, very high. At least not yet. Maybe by the end of the year, but I mean we'll see. Trump's catching a lot of fire right now. Trump and Elon, you guys have probably seen the news. He's dropping from Doge. So the Doge thing is not going to be part of the thing anymore. So Trump's getting a lot of slack right now from a lot of stuff from so like the tariff stuff didn't go through. He's getting criticized by Elon. There's just a lot of stuff happening around the world that's, there's just like the reciprocal tariffs that Trump kind of mentioned. There's a lot of stuff going on. So I think that's why Bitcoin's kind of like not, it's kind of stagnant right now. I think later once they announce something else, some other partnership with Bitcoin, then it may possibly climb up even further. We'll have to see. Let's see. John's asking, can I ask what trade copier to use for your Apex accounts? I use Replicano for everything. If you watched the mentoring session from yesterday, I helped Jarrell set up his Replicano, so I showed him how to do everything, how to install it, how to sign up for it, how to set it up. It's uh it's in the mentoring session from yesterday. So we use Replicano by Flowbots. I mean, if you want to use it, here's the link. I have a 20% off if you want to use it. Or I'll put it down right here. That's kind of long. Let's see. Yeah, so if you use that code, you'll get 20% off. And here's a link for that copier. Yeah, Samson, man, skipped it, but happy it's hitting. Yeah, exactly. Same here. Hey, if you guys have noticed, like these MPS V2s, they're going exactly to their TP and then full on reversing. If you guys have been noticing that, like literally right to TP and then full on reverse. Justin said the ranging on smaller time frames has been wrecking the altcoins. I trade strong chance. He trades a strong chance in the middle of summer you can re-enter lower. Yeah, and I agree with you too, Justin, 100%. Um, yeah, altcoins are they're tricky. They're really tricky, right? Um, but yeah, with Bitcoin, with the bigger stuff like Bitcoin, XRP, all that stuff's gonna it's gonna take a while for it to. I wonder where XRP is right now. See, XRP is kind of flattened out too. A lot of people like, the hype right here, right? Pushed up. And then oh, that's not the XRP. Man, where's the XRP at? XRP versus dollar. There's like so many options here now. Um, let's check here. Okay, so yeah, anyways, XRP here was like at 3, and everyone was like, oh, it's gonna go up to like 20 bucks or whatever. I mean, this is playing with people's emotions as well. I think a lot of people jumped in at like certain areas, like right here, where price kind of pushed up, and they're like, oh, hell yeah, price is gonna go, and it came right back down. Um, Yeah, if I do get back into crypto, guys, I'm only going to be buying into possibly Bitcoin, like maybe the bigger, like the more popular coins. I'm not really going to mess with the altcoins. But yeah, I mean, I can't believe this thing drops. It just kind of dumped down a little bit or pretty heavily because this thing was at $3 and everyone was like super hyped about it. And then it came all the way back down. And it came back up and then it came all the way back down. I'm not knocking XRP, but for me, I just don't have the patience to hold on to something like that. Like I'm surprised I held on to my Bitcoin for like almost 10 years. But it felt good to sell it. Like it felt good to sell it and then transfer it to my bank account because then I just got like another 100K back in the account. But it was a long time. Like I probably could have put that money somewhere else, like into my trading account, made more. All right, guys. So looking at this so far, I don't think there's anything else for today. Looks like Shavam's already gone. Christian said, "Have a good day, guys. No trades for me today, and no trades for me either." So if you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Discord, guys. There's nothing going on here, so there's nothing to really pull out of this chart. I mean, price is going back and forth. If you guys want to take these sweeps, again, my sweep down here is still waiting to be filled. It's going to be down here. These are the parameters for this lower sweep. Entry is going to be at 42,104. And if you want to take the upper sweep over here, it's going to be at 42,296. So neither of my sweeps here got filled. It got really close to this lower one, but not quite to get actually filled. Um, the sweeps are happening right here. So another sweep happened right here, it looks like. Yeah. The sweeps are happening on the lower scale. So like they're happening on these tighter levels here. But it's not really a sweep that I would personally like to take for us. So let me take a screenshot of all the entries for today. I'll also screenshot this in case you guys want to get into these entries at some point. But anyways, here is the breakout hit for a ton of points right there. I haven't taken any trades today. So I'll just put this here so that you guys can see. Breakout hit right there. And then here are the setups for today's live session. During today's live session. Yeah, so if you guys want to review this, I mean, feel free. I posted the screenshot right here for those of you who want to check it out. I know a lot of you guys here like to review the trades that we identify. This will probably help you guys be ready for tomorrow's live session. Hopefully tomorrow we'll have better opportunities, but yeah, if you guys want to see here, I've marked up all the entries: MPSV2, liquidity sweep, MPSV2, MPSV2 sweep, MPSV2, MPSV2, and MPSV2 right here. So a lot of MPSV2s, a lot of sweeps, a lot of good examples there if you guys want to see what I was doing for today. But yeah, that's about it. So, all right, guys, if you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Discord. Otherwise, we'll be back here, same place, same time tomorrow as we continue on with this trading week. Hopefully tomorrow I can lock in something. Otherwise, I'm not going to force anything. I'm okay with taking, a no trade week if I need to, but of course I'd rather take something. So, all right, guys, I think that's it for the day. If you guys have any questions, hit me up. Otherwise, I will see you guys back here tomorrow for the next live session. So.